Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic / mediumship reading on Robin Williams, and I'm going to be giving you the tea from spirit, what I see, what I hear, what really went on. Was this actually, that he took his life, or was it something else? We're going to cover all of that. Immediately what I'm getting, I did go and Google and look at some of the crime photos that have been leaked up. Not crime photos, but like death photos that were leaked. And so it was very hard to see some of the images that I saw that were his, whether or not they were real or not. They do give off a lot of impression and help me to connect when I'm doing readings. The one thing that I kept getting immediately was that, Robin Williams was a comedian at heart, even though he was an actor, and he brought a lot of joy into the world. But I feel like he was just like a machine, going. He was well liked, but I feel like it was almost like he was in reality, he was a very happy person. He, like, who he was on screen is who he was off screen. He loved to joke and whatnot, but the years that he put into the industry and whatnot, they would have led to him having health conditions. Mentally, I feel like he was exhausted. This doesn't mean that he was depressed, but there was like exhaustion. And I feel like he did not see himself kind of like continuing doing movies forever. There was like a stopping point. He had plans, is what I'm getting from his soul, from spirit. He had plans to definitely stop, and he wanted to pursue something differently. Whether this was like opening up different businesses or taking a trip with his, his partner, and children, like kind of like enjoying the perks of his hard work and his success. There was a lot of jealousy around him. I am picking up on a lot of jealousy. I'm getting that very strongly. He was also seeking some answers, seeking some support. This could translate into him kind of like dealing with doctors, talking to people that are like spiritual, not necessarily psychics, but like people that are like life coaches, people that are very wise in the industry. And he had good friends, I feel like, that supported him, that he would have, talked to. So I'm just going to say, I don't feel like he's the energy that what I get after all these years. I never felt like he committed suicide, and I still stand true to that. And people may not agree with me, but I don't. Even though their photos do show, like strangulation of the neck, etc., due to hanging. A lot of things can be filtered, can be altered. And even if it was the truth, that he was hanged, I don't feel like he would have done that himself. And I'm just saying that right there. And I think a lot of people think, because I've seen things on the internet where people have said, he wasn't depressed, and that's been even said by his partner, I believe, like he was not depressed, so why would he have committed suicide? And a lot of people have thought, and this is all speculation basically, and commentary from sources, different sources, is that a lot of people believe that he had this disease that kind of caused a lot of bodily symptoms, etc. But when I tune into him, I do feel like he did have a deterioration of health. Like he wasn't the strong person like he used to be when he was younger. But that's for everyone. But his spirit and his soul, I don't pick up like a lot of pain. So I'm not saying or citing that those sources are incorrect, but I don't pick up on that. I don't pick up that he would be like under so much amount of pain that he would resort to taking his life. Like his soul is very light. It was very surrounded by light. Like I feel like he was an earth angel in so many ways here in the physical world, and he brought so much joy to people. That was part of his life and earthly mission. I feel like he did still have some goals before he would have stopped making movies, etc. He was working on some kind of project, I'm hearing, or was going to work on some kind of project within the next 2 years before he passed. Like within those 2 years that were following his passing, if he would not have passed. He would have continued working. But there was something about money. Spirit is bringing it through very clear, communicating with his spirit guides and his soul coming through. There was something about money not going well. Either this was like a financial, like him wanting to get paid for a certain role, like a lot of money, and it was not being given to him, so he backed out of that, or someone was trying to like exploit him in some kind of way, like a what's the word I'm looking for, like blackmail of some sort. It's very weird how it's coming through, but I feel like he had like so much positive energy to continue, and then it's like it just didn't go through. So it's almost like he would have, been threatened and had some kind of nasty male energy that would have, kind of tried to force him to do a certain project that he did not want to do. And so I feel like, this was like a ripple effect in some ways. And I get that, emotionally, he would not have been that great in his marriage either, or his relationship with his kids, yes, but with his partner, no. I feel like there would have been some turmoil in his life before his passing. And I keep saying passing, but I don't feel like this was definitely a natural passing or him committing suicide, and I'm just keeping it real. What I get like days leading prior to this is that he was in a very saddened type of mode. I do feel like there would have been maybe some kind of, depressive thoughts. I hate to use that word because then people are going to misconstrue and say, well, he was depressed, but we can all be depressed. It doesn't mean that you're going to be committing or taking your life, because again, I don't feel like he was wanting to leave his legacy behind. Like, you have to understand, a lot of these celebrities that are dying, we see patterns of them being taken out, and mysteriously they commit suicide, or they die by a mysterious illness, pneumonia or something. And it's like, we see a lot of that happening, but what is really the truth? And that is what I'm all about, like getting down to the truth of the matter. And what Spirit is relaying to me and making me feel in my soul really strongly is that he did not commit suicide. Was this murder? It's very possible. And that's what's coming through. And I also feel like there's things that were not really documented. And again, like I said, when you have money, when people in the industry are with money, many things can be staged. Many things can be like shoved under the rug. And so the truth is never what we see on the news media, on the outlets. It's always going to be different. The autopsy results are going to be different. I do feel like there was some kind of dependency that he would have had as well. And I hate to say this, even though he was a good man and a good soul, there would have been some kind of substances that he was taking apart from the medications. This could have been like maybe pot, I don't know, but that's what I kind of am feeling from all of this. Like, there was like some places where he wanted to kind of escape from all of this. And I keep seeing like a gold band. This is like a wedding ring. I don't know who would have been the owner of the gold band, but I keep being shown that. I'm also being shown like a brown wallet and things that would have been left behind in the room. I do feel like there was foul play. I will say that. And for my protection, I'm limited on what I can say. But I do feel like there was definitely orders given, And we will never know the truth. And who would have given the orders would not have been his partner. I don't feel like she was even capable of that, or people that have blamed her, because there have been people that, gave her the side eye. I don't feel like this would have been her at all. But people that are just envious and jealous of Robin Williams. He was one of the top paid actors, in his roles and etc. So again, a lot of jealousy in the industry, a lot of people wanting control and power over Robin Williams and who he was as the actor. You know, they wanted a big chunk of him, and everything that Robin touched turned to gold, and that's not a lie. Like, anybody that would have aligned with him or had a role with him, they all like would have been lifted up and elevated just by his presence himself. Because, like I said, he was known to be a legend. Like, he is a legend that we no longer have here in the physical world, and it saddens me because he was magnificent, just magnificent human being. Like, we will never have another Robin Williams. We'll never have someone that can measure up to his energy and measure up to who he was as the man, as the actor, as the husband. You know, he was the total package, honestly. And so again, I continue to see the partner that he would have been with, and the kids. Like, there is some legal issues coming to the forefront. It's not over yet, so there's something on the horizon with that maybe she would be experiencing, or that will be experienced over the next 2 to 3 years. And this is about estate, about money still, like people fighting over Robin Williams's money. And it's a shame. Like, that's the one thing that he's being very clear about. He doesn't want people to be fighting about the money, because ultimately he wasn't materialistic in the least. Like, it was all about like living comfortably, but also living within, you know, a simple type of mind frame. Even though he would have had, you know, a mansion, or he would have had like luxury cars, for him it was all about being simple. And that's how he wants to be remembered by, you know, the people, his fans, his family, his children, is the humble person that he was, and the giving person that he was, because he gave so much of his life to us that I think a lot of us, you know, we just remember the funny moments. But if you go back and look at all his filmography, you know, like all of his films and TV appearances and whatever that he did, you know, he gave a lot of himself to us. I do feel like there is a lot that he wanted to say and that he couldn't say days leading up to his passing. I also felt like he would have confided in a close friend. This would have been a female friend, about things that he was going through, and they would have had discussions. I don't feel like this person is going to maybe come out and talk about it. Maybe that she has, I don't know, but I do hear that, and I do feel that very strongly as well. But overall, you know, Robin Williams' spirit is with us every time that we look at a film that he made. You know, he will always be known as Miss Doubtfire, Nano Nano, and all the other kind of things that he did, you know, all the other movie roles. He is just an angel, and that's what I feel like. That is what, you know, everything will be okay. As far as like this whole murder thing that I feel like is a cover-up, foul play, will there be justice? Yes, there will be. And I feel like it won't be in the court of law, but karmically speaking, those people will be facing, you know, their own punishment in time. And it's like, even after they pass from this physical world, they will be held accountable. Like, when you look at like murderers or killers out there that take someone else's life, even though it may be pre-written like that for our own soul contract, and we ask ourselves like, well, why would I have signed up to be murdered or to have been taken out in that kind of way? It's because, you know, we'll never, humanity is not within the confines to understand our blueprints, but our souls know why we choose it like that. Keep in mind that he was a very public figure, he was very loved, and when someone passes in this kind of manner, it leaves an imprint in everyone's psyche, and it also brings people together. And so there's always a greater reason or purpose that, you know, he changed consciousness by being here and gracing us the time that he was able to grace us here in the physical world. And now in spirit, like I said, his soul is alive. Every time we look at his videos, his movies, you know, comedy that he did, we will always eternally remember who Robin Williams was and is. So I want to thank all of my rays of light for tuning in. If you have any suggestions for other videos, please comment in the comment section below. If you want to book a private psychic reading, you can visit my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. All of my readings are on sale through the entire month of September. And don't forget to pick up a copy of my new book. My new oracle cards that are called Starseed Footstep Oracle Cards, and pick up a copy there. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.